Mark, we're on to our next problem and our next solution, and it's never been more apt, really. And it's about the volatility of technology. So I think we've seen how fast things have moved on in relation to kind of AI and the battlefield that's been sent between that's out there now between the big vendors playing out. How do we back the right horse? I think is probably the right question.
Yeah, it's a difficult question, and what I've seen with a lot of companies who have not made the move from their legacy systems is because they do endless POCs on new technology. You know, they will look into 20 years ago how they can move to the web and Java, and then think about, well, which framework should I use on that? And we've seen a similar kind of set of question around moving to more browser-based coding in JavaScript, where people would say, well, do I use Angular? What's coming next? Should I use React? There's these new technologies, new libraries coming out with Vue and with, or there's something that Solid does great. So you get a lot of technical staff trying to say, I'm not sure we have the right roadmap of where to go next. I want to look at the next, new great thing. And they never start that race almost, let alone, which horse to back. They never kind of start on that. And there's always going to be change in technology. It's always going to improve. It's always going to go around cycles where everything happens on the client and then everything moves back to run on the server for performance, and management reasons, etc. So if you're thinking about, well, let's choose a technology or a set of libraries or code that's going to last me for 10 years, you're looking at the wrong problem straight away, right? You need to think about the generational shifts in technology, the move towards end-tier technologies, the advent of the web, how AI will impact us more recently, how we can scale to more cloud-native apps. So those kind of things you've got to consider building technology that can move towards that. But if you're getting hung up on making sure you spend 12 months deciding on which JavaScript toolkit or framework or libraries you're going to use, then the problem is solved a step before that. It's about thinking how you design and build your architecture that can leverage out all the advances in the UI technologies, that can leverage all of the advances in cloud platform technologies like serverless and like Kubernetes, event-driven architectures, and how you can leverage all of the data storage and processing, kind of tools, like more NoSQL and more things like Databricks for high data processing. So if you start thinking about your architecture in those ways, and then building for change, building for saying, today we're going to use this JavaScript library, React maybe, but we want to have an approach where it's appropriate to use something like Next.js or to build some visualizations in Svelte, for instance, that we've got a goal for our developers to say, we're using that today, but I want an architecture where I can continue to innovate. So, you should not be rabbit in headlights of saying, where do I go next? What will be the impact of AI on our development? Which of these libraries integrates best to Copilot, etc.? Think about getting your architecture right. Think about making advances with certain, technology shifts, and then building to allow and empower your engineering teams who've got the mastery in these technologies to use the right tools for the job at the right time.